from the Fox 5 studios, this is Silver State Sports Live.
Nothing screams Happy Monday quite like the start of NFL free agency. And guess what? We're diving in head first. Welcome inside. This is Silver State Sports Live. I'm Mike Davis.
And I'm Mariah Janos. We'll get to the free agency frenzy in just a minute, but we also got the Paloma Villicana in studio to break down Lady and Running Rebs with the Mountain West tournament underway at the Thomas & Mack. Plus, the A's are shining bright this spring training. We're taking a look at their productive weekend. But we got to get back to free agency because it's been crazy. From the moment I opened my eyes this morning, I felt like my hair has literally been on fire.
Hair looks good.
Thank you. Thank you, because it doesn't feel good right now. There hasn't been a single moment of peace as deals are getting done left and right, Mike.
Yes, NFL free agency. It's all about the wheeling. It's all about the dealing. And while all these deals can't become official until Wednesday, the legal tampering period is when the really good stuff just frankly happens. Raiders GM John Spytek wasted no time making a big splash right out of the gate, according to multiple reports, agreeing to a record deal with former Ravens free agent center Tyler Linderbaum. Now, the 25-year-old is signing a 3-year agreement for $81 million. That includes $60 million guaranteed. It's a move that makes Linderbaum the highest paid interior offensive lineman in NFL history. Here's Q Myers from Sin City Beat on the move.
Usually free agency, it doesn't age well. Look at these deals the Raiders have been doing, 3-year deals. They're not 4-year deal. They're not 5-year deal. Right. They're not 6 years deal. Yeah, they're overpaying, so they give a lot of money up front. Who cares, right? The center position is the brains of the offensive line. That was the first thing I asked Clint Kubiak when he had his introductory press conference. Like, hey, what about this offensive line? What about the zone blocking scheme? That is the brains of the operation. So important in this offense to be able to make him go, and he is the guy. Linderbaum is going to be that guy. I'm really excited about it. Look, make it rain, right? If you got all the money, it ain't my money. Spend it. Spend it all. I don't care. Salaries are going up. The salary cap goes up every year. It went up $22 million this year. So who cares?
Yeah.
It's a little bit extra money, so what?
Amen, Q. He just hit the nail on the head there. The center is the anchor of the offense, the anchor of the O-line. So, Mike, what does this deal mean for the Raiders?
I mean, the happiest person in the world has to be Fernando Mendoza.
Yes.
This is completely going to change everything for this Raiders team. Last year, the O-line couldn't block anybody.
Nope.
They didn't even know who they were supposed to block.
They couldn't stop running water.
They'd hand off the ball to Ashton Genty, the former first-round pick, and what? He'd be tackled in the backfield. So what happens is Clint Kubiak, he's coming from the Kyle Shanahan tree. We all know the Shanahans going all the way back to Terrell Davis and Mike Shanahan with the Broncos. They know how to run the ball. So when Kyle Shanahan, Mariah, became the OC of the Falcons, way before he was even the head coach of the 49ers, what was the first move he made? He signed Alex Mack, one of the best centers at the time, to a huge deal. What happened? They went on to play the Patriots, your Patriots, in the Super Bowl and lost. The center is the brains behind the operation, like Q said. This is a game changer. It's going to unlock the run game. It's going to protect franchise quarterback Fernando Mendoza. This is the best thing that could have ever happened in free agency.
Yeah,
what do you
absolutely.
think?
This is a culture-defining move here. They just lost Max Crosby. Everyone was talking about him being the heart and soul of the locker room. Well, you just brought in a guy, a 3-time Pro Bowler. By the time he's 25, and his job is to protect the young QB that they're about to bring in. And Seattle Seahawks, you look at their offense last season, they were so run-heavy, one of the most run-heavy offenses in the league. Kubiak's here. He's got Ashton Genty at his disposal. This is the perfect move to apply that here with the Raiders. So I think that's where we're going to see moving forward. Now, that was one of the moves that highlighted today, but as we know, the moves actually began Friday night when the hearts of Raider Nation were shattered into a million pieces upon the announcement that Max Crosby is headed to the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for 2026 and 2027 first-round picks. The Raiders now hold the 1st and 14th overall picks in the upcoming draft. So let's take this moment to reflect and appreciate all that the Condor did for the Silver and Black in his 7 seasons there. Amongst all defensive linemen, he was 1st in tackles for loss, 1st in solo tackles, 2nd in QB pressures, 2nd in QB hits, 3rd in total tackles,
you're losing breath.
4th in batted passes, 5th in sacks. Soon after the announcement was made, Crosby had a heartfelt message for Raider Nation on his podcast.
I wanted everything good for the Raiders. I bleed silver and black. that'll never change, and I'm a Raider for life. And I truly want to finish when it's all said and done, you know, in a Raiders jersey, whenever that time comes. But for the time being, it's a new day. I'm going to Baltimore, Flock Nation, everybody in the whole city of Baltimore. I got a lot to learn. Everything is going to be new to me, and I'm excited in attacking this head on like I do everything else.
Oh, yuck. For those of you who can't picture Crosby in anything but a Raiders uniform, the silver and black, well, there you go. That's the visual he posted to his IG. It's even his profile pic now, Mariah. This is a
that
sad,
solidifies it.
It's that makes it official.
Yep.
He's a Baltimore Raven. That's got to sting. But let's go over this trade package, Mariah, because the Ravens offered up something a lot of teams were not willing to do, 2 first-round picks, and especially parting away with that first overall pick this year, which lands at the 14th overall pick. So what's your grade on this deal?
I mean, for the Ravens, it's not great. For the Ravens, it's around a C+. That's what Dan Graziano of ESPN made it this morning. However, for the Raiders, if we go back to the Tyler Linderbaum move, you essentially just traded Max Crosby for Tyler Linderbaum, where there was a bigger need at the center position on that Raiders O-line. And then on top of it, they got 2 first-rounders, which is a huge ask. Not a lot of organizations were interested in giving up that much. So the Ravens just gave up everything but the kitchen sink. So I'm giving the Raiders an A on this move because you essentially just swapped Crosby for Linderbaum. Much needed, especially with Mendoza coming in, as we touched on earlier. And now that 1st and 14th overall pick, that is huge because it's not like a late first-round pick. 14 is such a sweet spot.
Yeah.
What are you grading this?
I'm giving it an A+ because I think
I love
plus, you know, which is something I never got in primary school.
Me neither.
Because listen, Max Crosby, he's not the same age as Micah Parsons or Sauce Gardner. When they both got traded for 2 first-rounders, they're much younger. Crosby's 29. He's coming off 2 years with back-to-back injuries. So I think for them to get 2 first-round picks, plus one of those picks being 14th overall, that's a top 15 pick. I mean, you can really change the course of your franchise immediately. You can get younger and get another edge rusher. You can build up the O-line. There's a lot that can happen there. Do you have any idea where you think they're going to go at 14? If you were John Spytek, what would you do at 14?
So here's the thing. Obviously, we have to see how free agency shakes out. I originally was looking at linemen because they need to bolster this O-line as much as humanly possible, especially if we want to get a 2-back set in there. I really like the idea. There's a couple O-linemen out of Utah that you could bring on, but I also don't love too much of a young O-lineman. We saw the struggles in New England for me personally with Will Campbell. So there's a learning curve there. But if we look at the skill positions, I really like Omar Cooper, wide receiver out of Indiana. I would love to have someone that Fernando Mendoza already has a great rapport with, has that connection established with. His stock actually has gone up after the combine with his skill set that he showed off. He's great after the catch. He's quick. He's extremely athletic. So I wouldn't mind seeing them go for a receiver there at that spot.
Yeah, I mean, the playmaker you can never go wrong with. The thing is, I just think you can't miss. You got to let the draft come to you. The same way 2 years ago Brock Bowers fell to 13.
Best available.
You just got to go best available. There's chances that maybe a Ruben Bain, he's got shorter arms. He's got shorter arms than me, this guy, but he was a stud at University of Miami. If he falls to 14, that would be incredible. There's also the guard from Penn State, Daniel Jeremiah, loves him. So maybe you bolster up that O-line and you just say, hey, we're going to make sure we're protected. We're going to make sure we're good to go. But maybe somebody falls. Maybe the corner from LSU. Maybe Caleb Downs. You don't know what happens. But at 14, you can't miss.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see what happens come April. But still to come right here on Silver State Sports Live. The Mountain West Tournament is underway at the Thomas and Mack Center. The Lady Rebels asserting their dominance right out of the gate. Our Paloma Villicana joins us to talk all things Scarlet and Gray hoops. That's next. And don't forget, the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network is your home for the most live local sports this week. Night Monsters action Wednesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Las Vegas Lights season gets underway Saturday at 2 p.m. And then Sunday at 3 p.m. the Desert Dogs take on Rochester. You can watch it all right here on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
You're watching Silver State Sports Live.
Well, it's March, the most important time of the year in college basketball. Conference tournaments are underway ahead of the big dance, the Mountain West tournament taking place at the Thomas and Mack for both the women and the men.
Yes, and here to talk all about it is Fox 5 sports reporter and host of The Red Zone, Paloma Villicana. PV, it's so good to have you
I
here.
love this show.
I'm
You guys
glad.
are doing a great job. It's been a lot of fun
glad
to
you're
see.
enjoying it.
Honestly,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank
you guys
you.
are killing it, working hard.
Thank you, P. Now, you are working hard year-round with the
Oh,
Rebels.
yeah.
The Lady Rebels, though, asserting their dominance to begin the quarterfinal play last night over
Yeah,
Fresno
that was a big
State.
one.
Huge. San Diego State, another big storyline there. They got upset by Air Force, so the path is clear.
Let's go, Lindy.
Right, this tournament is the Lady Rebels to lose at this point, right? You have to think so.
I texted Lindy and was like, let's go. Like, I hope you guys win it
Really?
all,
Did
because
she heart that message back?
she did heart.
Good.
She's a sweetie,
Good.
Las Vegas native. But yeah, the Lady Rebels take on Colorado State tonight at 7:30. I mean, you know, the Lady Rebels are dominant, 3-time Mountain West champions, 4-time regular season champions, so they know a thing or two about playing in the postseason. But Lindy still needs that NCAA tournament win.
Yes.
You know, she still needs that on her resume. Vegas needs that too. I mean, all the focus has really been on the Lady Rebels dominating in the postseason and then getting to the NCAA tournament and losing in the first round. So, yeah, the Lady Rebels have a big one tonight. They've got some hoopers.
Yes.
Shelby Brown, oh my gosh. Her pink hair has gone viral this season. Asia Wilson gifted the team A1s in the
cool.
offseason. So, we know a thing or two about women's basketball dominant here in Las Vegas.
Okay, now PV, let's shift our focus to the men's team. You've been on the road with the Runnin' Rebels all season long. Now, despite the season finale loss to San Diego State, we had you on the show talking all about that. What is the team's mindset going into the tournament and their game on Wednesday?
I think they're playing their best basketball right now. Last week was a huge week for them, sweeping Utah State for the first time in 12 years. First place Utah State, so that's really hard to do. They lost a nail-biter on the road at San Diego State, 89-86, and Coach Passner was on the Red Zone last night. He likes how his team is running this season, just a faster pace. Offensively, they have the best guard in the nation, in my opinion, Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn, who averaged 30 points a game in February, so super hot. You know, Coach just has this crazy energy about him, and I think his team feeds off that. Sometimes we've seen kind of a sleepy Runnin' Rebels team in the past, especially in the Mountain West tournament. So they're playing Wyoming on Wednesday, noon tip-off. Coach Passner called their loss on the road a thump. I think it was like 98-66. It was a bad game, really bad game. So, no, UNLV is playing really good ball right now. I hope Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn shows up. I hope the whole team shows up on Wednesday. The thing about the Runnin' Rebels, they've won big games this season on the road, swept Boise State, swept Utah State, but then they've lost some games that are just head scratchers at GCU. That I'm just like, you know, come on, guys.
It's been that wild
the
ride, that
consistency.
inconsistency.
We need to see that consistency. And look, it's Josh Passner's first year. His entire team was injured at the beginning of the year. I mentioned on Friday, these are the backups that are coming. Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn wasn't even supposed to be a starter this year, and now he's one of the best guards on the West Coast. So you got to give Josh Passner a little bit of credit for his success this year.
Absolutely, and you just mentioned it. They're heating up down the stretch here. They're hot at the right time. With all of that being said, do you think they have a shot at winning the Mountain West tournament and getting that automatic bid?
So if they beat Wyoming on Wednesday, then they move on to face Utah State.
For the third time.
For the third time. So,
That's
I mean,
hard.
beating Utah State is hard. Doing it 3 times is even harder. But it's kind of like I've seen that hunger and that grit from the Runnin' Rebels. And when they want to beat a team, they beat a team. So they kind of have to have that mentality for every single game. 4 games in 4 days. Coach is calling. I know I asked him about Utah State, and he's like, I'm not even there. Like, we got to beat Wyoming. Wyoming has won 5 of their last 6 games, so they're really hot right now, too. So his focus is on Wyoming. But, of course, I want to see UNLV. Everyone wants to see UNLV win. It's been 12 years since they played in the NCAA tournament. 2013. That's a long time ago. So we know this is a hoops town, and we know that Las Vegas wants to see them win the tournament.
Yeah, all right, let's go to Josh Passner, see what he had to say about the Mountain West Conference tournament.
Here's what I would tell you about the Mountain West Conference. This league has kind of just beat each other up.
Yeah, physical.
Everyone's just beat each other up in this league. And so that all being said, it's anybody's taking. Like, anybody can win this tournament. Yeah, probably going to be tough for Air Force, just to be honest with you. They've had some, they're well coached and they've got good players. Yeah. They've had a tough season. So maybe you don't include Air Force that can win the whole thing. And that's not anything on them. They just had a tough season. But everybody else, it can get hot and anybody can win this thing. It's wide open.
I love that, man.
Air Force just catching strays out here.
Josh,
so sorry.
Josh is unhinged on the Red Zone.
Yeah,
like, he
in the
keeps
best
it
way.
really real. I've never seen this from a head coach.
No.
Just saying exactly how he's saying it, being honest, being real. You know, we get the coach talk a lot.
Right.
So I love him.
I never thought we'd get coaches in studio that would match Paloma's energy. And in 1 year, we got Dan Mullen and Josh Pastner. And
Just
they
living the best
quite
life.
literally are the coach versions of Paloma
Yeah.
Villicana. So we love that. But
Yeah.
other big news out of UNLV today, we have a football
Yes.
schedule starting with a huge matchup with another group of 6 power in Memphis. Another one a couple weeks later at North Texas, Then you add in home matchups with Cal and newly minted Mountain West member North Dakota State. A great schedule for Dan Mullen and the boys. Going to be an exciting season for UNLV football. Paloma, thank you so much.
Of course,
love
guys.
every
Thank
second
you,
of
Paloma.
having you here.
Thank you.
All right, guys, coming up, the struggles continue for the guys in gold, falling to the Edmonton Oilers Sunday night and thus falling in the division standings. We got the latest when we return.
You're watching Silver State Sports Live.
Okay, so the A's were in town Saturday and Sunday for spring training, taking on the Halos as part of Big League Weekend.
Yes, best weekend of the year, and the soon-to-be Las Vegas players took time to embrace themselves in Las Vegas culture. When they got to town, Nick Kurtz, Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Lawrence Butler, and Tyler Soderstrom made a stop at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, the Neon Museum, Red Rock, and even made it to the Golden Knights game. Former pitcher turned announcer Dallas Braden even held a pitch, hit, and run for the kids. So the green and gold starting to get acclimated to their new future home. Here's what manager Mark Kotze had to say as we await the team's arrival in 2028.
Obviously, it does feel like you're getting closer with the progress they've made. If you go over on Tropicana and Vegas Boulevard, and you can see the actual formation of the stadium and the lower bowl, and so we're definitely making progress. And I think coming here and seeing it makes you feel like it is definitely closer. The UFC, the entertainment, that side of Vegas is definitely exciting.
Also, the build is on schedule and on time. What more could you ask for? The A's split Big League Weekend series with the Angels, which is always nice to get a dub in there.
Yes, and meanwhile, down in Mesa, Arizona, we need to talk about A's #1 prospect, Leo DeVries, coming to the Athletics by way of the Mason Miller trade, you might remember. Now, the 19-year-old made some noise this weekend, going yard twice against the Dodgers. The second one being a grand salami. That's what our producer, James, likes to say. Now, we expect only more good news and moments like this for baseball's #4 overall prospect.
And meanwhile, over at the World Baseball Classic, heroics from A's infielder Darryl Hernandez. Hernandez walked it off, lifting Puerto Rico to a 4-3 win over Panama with a 374-foot bomb. The 24-year-old also singled in the 5th inning. He's playing nicely in the World Baseball Classic, batting .333. Not too shabby.
Now to the ice, where the news isn't so lovely, as VGK fans were gifted the unfortunate Sunday scaries. I always get those, Mariah.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, Vegas falling 4-2 to the Oilers.
Yeah, a divisional loss that drops them to 2nd in the Pacific Division. Vegas's last month has been dreadful since the Olympic break returned. The Knights are 2-5-0, and like you said, Mike, now out of 1st place in already a very weak division.
Yeah, so how about we stay with some more depressing news, because we love to be consistent
Let's keep
here.
it rolling.
I'm talking about the WNBA as a deadline approaches, with the league stuck right now in a labor contract dispute.
Yeah, the league set a March 10th deadline for a new collective bargaining agreement, all with the hopes of starting the season up on May 8th.
Yeah, so let me ask you this, Mariah. You're plugged into everything WNBA. Tomorrow It's the deadline. I mean, listen, I was the biggest procrastinator there was in high school, so I know about this. Will a deal get done tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think you have two sides very far apart, two very stubborn sides, and I understand the desire for equal pay, revenue share, all that good stuff that the players are fighting for, but I think you got to pick and choose your battles this early on when the league is starting to gain so much momentum and such forward progress. Why erase it all with these negotiations? Find the common ground, take the proposal that the WNBA is giving you, and just get the season going, because even if they do get a deal done tomorrow, it's crunch time. They've got 2 drafts to plan for, free agency, there's just a lot going on. And then you got training camp too. So I don't see a deal getting done. I don't see the season starting on time, but we will see what ends up happening.
All right, there you have it. Mariah Janos crushing your dreams. We'll be right back after a short break.
All right, it's the best time for top plays. Starting at number 3, Lady Rebels, Fresno State, Destiny Leo. She made it again. She was on top plays on Friday, and she's back here on Monday with this 3 knockdown triple on the way to a 79-65 win over the Bulldogs. She is an animal. 4 triples for Leo in this one.
It's her destiny to
Yes.
be in the top plays. All right, coming in at number 2, the men's team running Rebs versus San Diego State. Walter Brown on the fast break. And look, he's going to put it right up for the freshman, Tyron Jones, with an alley-oop, celebrating. It's exactly why this player right here just won Freshman of the Week in the Mountain West.
The happiest kid on earth. And at number 1, you just saw it. A's Dodgers, that Mason Miller trade looking pretty dang good right about now as Leo DeVries goes yard. As we said, a grand salami. We love that. His second of the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out.